and we've got what should be a great one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Atlanta Falcons. This will be taken very short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First and 10 for Dalton. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From midfield here, Dalton. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route.
Leopard!
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 78 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Returning it, John Ross. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now it's Barry for Bernard. will get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Dalton gives to Bernard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Play action here with Dalton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game. Had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
No, check. Patriot.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Lucky 56. Leopard. Over.
And they'll go on the ground. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Detroit!
Back to throw now on first down. And his pass incomplete. The veteran safety, George Iloka, there to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking downfield for Jones. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And he puts it through.
Their partner, is there anything Julio Jones can't do on the football field? One-handed, hauls it in, just snatches it out of the air. He's absolutely impressive and amazing at times.
That was a great one-handed catch. I probably wouldn't want him trying a 50-yard field goal. Everything else, I think you're right.
Is that the only thing? Right now, I'm not so sure he couldn't kick it through there, but the way that he goes up and catches the ball, his quarterback, extremely happy to have him on his squad.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Dalton. Caught. Eifert over the middle. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick him.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Now a handoff working right. Try to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. He had a little bit of a turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote.
Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Gone! Detroit!
Now back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And now running right through it. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he takes it across midfield to the 45. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Vontaze Burfict in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And they'll run it here. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. The linebacker, Junior Gillette, in on the stop. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down.
Leopard! Leopard! Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Under pressure and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He's got Green. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I'll bet it.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. And he's got it up and through. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Now Bernard, and he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
368!
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie, the coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that's complete to LaFell. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A Bengal first down. Dalton hitting LaFell.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And he'll go down at the 28. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Boy, another example there of how you've just got to be fearless to go over the middle in this league.
No doubt about it. And if you want to be known as a Pro Bowl type of a receiver, if you want to get to the Hall of Fame, you have to make a good number of catches in that area. And how about the hit he took from the linebacker? That's where you really make it, because a lot of times that hit is coming from behind you, from over the top by a safety. In this case, it may well come from underneath with the linebacker dropping out from the middle.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And caught, right side, Green. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And Bullock will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was a nice score.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Gone, 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 gone. Gone, 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 gone. Gone, 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 gone.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final act of the first half. Dalton throwing middle, but it's incomplete. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Evades him at the 20. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Watch him now, Barney.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Gone! Watch him now, Barney. Detroit!
They'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 44 yards.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And a right side completion here by LaFell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. Dalton, 1st and 10. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll run again with Bernard. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
And now to the air. Dalton. He'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
5-0.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The loss